Good evening, you're watching Estuary News. Coming up, we visit a cafe in Brigg, which is proving to be a lifeline to those who use it. We find out how Humberside police are helping businesses fight cybercrime, and we ask you your opinion on social isolation among the middle-aged. And we visit RAF Scampton, the home of the Red Arrows, and take a look at their new gate guardian. Welcome to Estuary News. I'm Hugh Riches. Humans all need to feel that they belong, but for some who are socially isolated, it can be a struggle. A year ago in Brigg, a community cafe was set up to offer a lifeline for people. We popped along for a cuppa to find out how those who use the service have benefited.
Well, it started with Macmillan Coffee Morning, and it was a success, and a group of us thought, well, we'd like to carry on. So we do IT, we do games, we have a health trainer come, also we have various speakers.
I just think it's nice for people to have somewhere to go to mix. I've made lots of new friends, and I'm sure other people have too.
Well, the feedback that we've gotten, we've quite regularly asked for consultations and feedback on what they're thinking, and a lot of them are saying that it's giving them new friendships, it gets them out of home, into the community more, and they all look forward to coming here every week. And the amount of people that's coming is increasing. There's been a lot of publicity out within the community, and word of mouth. Everything's very positive, so they've done really well.
It sort of gets people together, and also if you're lonely sort of thing, you soon make new friends, and we're quite a friendly crowd, and everyone's made welcome. I think some people it's the highlight of the week. I know it sounds silly, but it gives some people, well, everyone really, something to focus on that day.
Well, I've not been in Brigg long, and when I came I didn't know anybody, so I saw the coffee morning advertised, came in, and I've made friends. Just coming in here, it's nice to come in on a Tuesday morning, have a chat with everybody and have a coffee and the nice cakes, obviously.
It's just somewhere where everybody can meet up and catch up with local news and find out what's going on. It's that sort of thing, really.
We're right on the way to go into the shops. Most ladies go to the shops on a Tuesday morning. They get the bus, we'll pop off here and come in, have a coffee and just find out what we do and what we like. Sometimes we have guest speakers, cooks doing things, showing us how to eat healthily. It's just a community cafe, and that says it all, really.
It's just a nice 2 hours out to visit all these different people and get on well with them, like, you know what I mean, sort of thing, and I really enjoy being with them.
It's handy, no driving, 2 minutes down the road, and the people that come are real friendly. It's really nice.
We'd appreciate any help, and also if anyone feels that they can't come on their own, sometimes we can get somebody to accompany them and welcome them when they come. Nobody's to feel that they're not welcome. Everybody's welcome.
Come along and give us a try. Come and have a cup of tea and a piece of cake, and I'm sure you'll come back again.
For many businesses, the threat of being attacked via the internet is very real. Humberside police are launching a campaign to assist companies to fight cybercrime. We went along to meet DI Rich Osgerby to find out what's being done to help.
Well, cybercrime is a new and emerging threat to the UK. Humberside Police, as well as many police forces within the UK, are recognising that threat and taking a multi-agency and partnership approach to resolving it, really, and preventing people being victims of this threat. What we're doing in conjunction with CERT UK is an initiative called CISP, which is the Cyber Security Information Sharing Partnership, and that's an industry and law enforcement led partnership aimed at sharing information around the various attacks in the cyber world, sharing that information around, giving advice from experts to small, medium businesses that are the backbone of the country and probably haven't got the funds within those businesses to provide their own security protection. So it's a real benefit to those kind of companies that may be victims of these cyber attacks, and it's a resource that they can go to for advice on how to shut down a Trojan or a piece of malware that's on their system, and also for identifying new and emerging threats as well on there. And it's backed by law enforcement and also some of the major blue chip companies within the UK, and it's an excellent resource and it's free.
You're watching Estuary News. Still to come tonight, with a high proportion of middle-aged people facing loneliness, we went out in Grimsby to find out your thoughts on the matter. And we head to the home of the Red Arrows and take a look at their new gate guardian. And we'll have all the sports news. We all know the Humber region is becoming the heart of the renewables sector in the UK. Recently, a company from the northeast decided to set up a training centre in the region to prepare people for work in the wind, petrochemical and nuclear industries. It's created 30 jobs and includes a 17-foot high wind turbine. We sent our reporter along to find out more about this multi-million-pound centre.
Very proud and pleased to launch our new Phase 1 state-of-the-art training facility at HCF Catch, and really it's a celebration of everything that AIS can bring to the region, from helping people to gain the necessary skills and training to enter into the energy sector and in particular renewables, but also to help to educate the local community, to access the right training, information, advice, guidance and make the right informed decisions to then progress onto a career in the energy sector and in particular renewables.
We're opening the new facility obviously in Grimsby, which is we hope to bring at least another 30 different courses here, and obviously for us it's a fantastic position really for us to be in terms of growth for the business.
We're demonstrating different ways that we can do rigging and lifting, also different ways that we can stay safe in the wind turbines on the ladder systems in different areas, and we're also doing some rope access training.
It's essential. You can't actually work on the wind turbine or enter a wind farm without this type of training. But I think it's more than that really. What we're trying to do is encapsulate the skills within the region and help the region reinvent itself. And I'm sure with the can-do attitude and the right education, people can actually access a good program of activity which could finish with the right industry skills and training to then find employment within the sector.
If we take the number of turbines that are about now at the minute with Centrica's Linen and Adowson and Links, Dong, Westermost Rough, Eon Humber Gateway, those wind turbines will be doubled by the number of turbines that RWE are bringing when they build Triton Knoll. So it's very important again to have the centre here to be able to service those people.
I'm a ground worker and I've currently done a training course, well just recently done a training course with AIS Training Group in the GWO wind farm renewable sector, so yeah, I'm looking to get a job in wind farms.
The rigging and lifting gives them the skills they can use when they're in the industry, and the working at heights gives them a way to stay safe whilst they're doing it.
The training is very, very important on both oil and gas platforms, on wind turbines. It's massively important that delegates come through the door, receive correct training from correct instructors, and go away with the confidence and the ability to do their job offshore with a knowledge and an understanding of what they need to be doing safely.
The training alone gave me a lot of confidence in working offshore, because it is a bit daunting at times when you hear the stories, but obviously going through the course, they fill you in on everything and it's very thorough, and now I feel confident that I can go offshore and work in the wind sector. Yeah.
We hope to be the one-stop shop in this region really, so we understand obviously the growth in this area, and what we're here to do is really to support the local economy, but also give the industries exactly what they need, which is good skilled labour.
And don't forget, if you have a story you'd like us to cover, then please get in touch by calling 01472 31 553 or 01472 31 5561, or email news@estuary.tv, or go to our social media pages on Facebook and Twitter and send our team a message. Dan Kemp joins me now, and he's here to tell us what's coming up in the Sports Bulletin. Dan.
Good evening, Hugh. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Good, not bad, thank you. I've been along to see Steve Bruce, Hull City manager, this morning. He's been telling us about some of the players that may or may not be playing tomorrow against Sheffield Wednesday.
This is association football.
This is association football. Hull City come at 12:30 at Hillsborough tomorrow lunchtime. Abel Hernandez, the striker's been away. He's scored 5 in 7 so far this season, but he's been away with Uruguay. So we'll find out if he's likely to be playing or not. I also went to see Paul Hurst on Thursday, so we'll be able to hear from him.
Excellent.
And
okay.
one story that's not quite made it into the bulletin is that Hull FC and Hull KR are going to close out the Millennium Magic weekend next year, or Newcastle Magic it is now, as it's called, which is rugby league. The two sides played last year and Hull FC won. It's I suppose the showpiece event for the sport where every club in the Super League face off each other over one weekend in the same stadium. It's a bit of a party kind of atmosphere, and FC and KR will play each other.
So all very exciting. You'll have the details of recent scores and things like that as well coming up.
Well, all the games coming up this weekend. I've got no scores, but I'll try and guess if you want.
Thank you, Dan.
Brilliant.
Well, we'll look forward to that. See you a bit later. Join me after the break when we head to the home of the Red Arrows and take a look at their new Gate Guardian. And with a high proportion of middle-aged people facing solitude, we went out in Grimsby to find out your thoughts on the problem. And Dan will be back with all that sports news. Welcome back. You're watching Estuary News. Still to come, we head to the home of the Red Arrows and take a look at their new Gate Guardian, and we find out how young people are getting on the property ladder. Loneliness can affect anyone at any age, but whereas people may have associated feelings of loneliness with the elderly, it's now middle-aged people who are topping the polls. The Office of National Statistics has found the number of 45 to 54-year-olds facing this has increased, with 1 in 7 people now reporting to feeling isolated. We went out onto the streets of Grimsby to ask people what they thought.
That's a difficult one for us because we're actually Jehovah's Witnesses and we never get lonely, so I can't really answer that.
We're busy, you see. We've got a full-time, ministry, and I've got a lot of great-grandchildren and grandchildren, so my house is open to everybody, love. It's like welcome on the mat.
I think a lot of people who live on their own, they are quite lonely in this community. And that's my experience anyway, and I meet all sorts of people.
Maybe the elderly if they can't get out and meet people, but there's age concern and there are places they can go to if they know.
I'm not too sure because I'm more younger, I'm not even middle-aged yet, but yeah, I think older people around here, they've always got someone. So middle-aged, it's trying to get a job and stuff like that around here because it's all 0 hours and stuff like that, so it's hard to get a job. But yeah, I agree with that in a way.
Military bases around the world are adorned with examples of decommissioned aircraft or military hardware which stand guard to be their gate guardians. Now, RAF Scampton has unveiled a new gate guardian to take up the mantle once held by the Lancaster bombers S for Sugar and Just Jane and a large toolboy bomb. We went along to find out what the new gate guardian would be. No surprises.
Gate Guardians are part of military institutions around the world, with examples such as the iconic Spitfire outside RAF Benson. RAF Scampton this week unveiled its new Gate Guardian to represent the history of the base.
Today we've seen the unveiling of the new RAF Scampton Gate Guardian, one of the Red Arrow's famous hawks, which will now stand guard over Scampton with the public to see the very, very public face of the Royal Air Force.
The Red Arrows and their now iconic Hawk aircraft are often considered the public face of the RAF, an organisation which sees the majority of its current action in foreign skies, which is why the Hawk was seen as a perfect fit for what the Gate Guardian symbolises.
Historically, Scampton's role was as a bomber unit during the Second World War and then a V-Force unit, and its previous Gate Guardians commemorated that. Its current role as a fast jet flying base is for the Red Arrow, so a Red Arrow is absolutely perfect to commemorate the role that we do now and point us to the future.
But what do the Red Arrows pilots think of their new Gate Guardian? Emmett Cox is the pilot in Red 5 and thinks it's a fantastic reminder of what Scampton and the RAF stand for, and thinks it's great how it's brought the Scampton community together.
It's great, it's fantastic to be reminded as you're coming through the gate. It's a brilliant aircraft to look at, it stands out as you can tell. Lots of people, not just from the Red Arrows, but people from all around the station and indeed the community. You've got people from the nearby school, Cubs and things like that. It's brilliant to see.
Wing Commander Harrop says the new gate guardian represents everything Scampton and the personnel there stand for and all the hard work they do.
It's recognition of all the hard work. This is something that's been probably 5 or 6 years in planning. People have put a lot of effort into it, and through everyone's effort, concerted effort, we've got here with a fantastic bright red aircraft that shows Scampton off to its very best.
And now here for a quick look at other news, Dan has come back. Dan.
Good evening again.
Good evening again. What have you found?
Yep, the first story is that half the students in North East Lincolnshire are not hitting their GCSE targets. So this is obviously 5 A-star to C grades. I don't know if you ever had to go through GCSEs, if you're familiar with that or not.
I did O-levels, Dan.
Yeah, whatever they are. Yeah, you have to achieve 5 or more A-star to Cs, of course. That's the traditional kind of standard, including English and maths. And unfortunately, in North East Lincolnshire, they've fallen below half.
Where did those targets come from? Who decided that was what everybody should get?
The government.
That's
It's
the Department of
the government benchmark, yes. The national average is 56.1%, and it's bad news for schools in the area, as the Grimsby Telegraph are saying here, whose results have got worse this year.
Any cause of this? Why is this happening? It's certainly not that people of North East Lincolnshire.
We don't know exactly why, but they have kind of listed a few schools that are underachieving. Healing Science Academy, Havelock, Cleethorpes Academy are all amongst the schools that have declined.
Did you hit your GCE targets?
I did, thankfully. I definitely got my 5 A-stars to C.
Well done, Dan.
I got 9, I think.
What's next?
Something like that. Yeah, the next story is in the Hull Daily Mail. This is quite the notorious Hull figure, road rage Ronnie Pickering. He's back again.
Who's that?
He's back. I'm not going there. We're not going to go into it. He's auctioning his Citroen Zara Picasso on eBay.
Right.
Of course, that's the famous car where he had his foul-mouthed tirade out the window.
Red car in which he was ranting.
I think everyone knows the story now.
It just reminds, who is he though, really?
Who is he?
Yeah.
Do you want me to answer that, or are you trying to
No,
kind
seriously,
of lure me
he's
in?
some sort of sports person, isn't he?
Ronnie Pickering, no, he's not even that famous, I wouldn't have said.
Right.
Well, I suppose he is now.
Well, he is now, yes.
He is now. I know he's been doing nightclub appearances as well and been getting quite a lot of money for those.
Off the back of this internet
that's what I've heard,
phenomenon.
but not around Hull.
Right.
Coventry, I understand.
Okay.
He said, he's beneath his tough exterior, he's a grandad at heart, and to prove that in his own words, he's now selling his Citroen Zara Picasso, which was filmed on YouTube for charity, and the charity is Love Life, which is a motor neuron disease.
Good for him.
So
some sort of
something good's come out of
mild redemption.
Come out of that, I think. Yeah, and he has also signed the bonnet of his car as well. Ronnie F *** in Pickering Love Life.
Okay, one
Brilliant.
more quite quickly, I think.
Yeah, this is that libraries are going to be transformed to dementia-friendly zones by North Lincolnshire councils. This areas like Scunthorpe and Barton. Bottisford Library on Cambridge Avenue is going to be the first one to undergo these changes. They include change of signage, as well as identifying safe areas and providing additional training for staff.
Okay, that sounds absolutely excellent, Dan. You need to probably go and get ready to do the sports news.
Yeah, I bet I had.
Okay, I'll see you a little bit later.
Okay.
Thanks very much. Young people trying to get a foot on the property ladder, they have a struggle. It's also a struggle if you're looking for rented accommodation. A charity in Hull is helping people across the region to get their own property. We went to meet them.
Deliver social benefits by turning chaotic lives around. That's the goal of Catch at 22, a charity that offers a range of services, including helping young people across Yorkshire and Humberside get a foot on the career ladder, helping 16 to 25-year-olds in their own tenancies. In the current economic climate, it seems being able to afford a roof over one's head has become increasingly difficult, and service manager Ellie Tuffin says that's especially the case for youngsters without the bank of mum and dad to fall back on.
Many young people, in order to kind of respond to the fact that it's harder to get on the property market, might choose to stay home with mum and dad for longer. Mum and dad might make more of a commitment to support young people to get onto the property ladder. The young people we support, often that's not an option for them.
The centre helps with everything from speaking to other agencies on behalf of service users, securing safe accommodation and helping people furnish their homes. 19-year-old Pam Langley has been moved from B&Bs to hostels and now has her own place. She says the charity has been a lifeline.
I don't even know where I'd be now if it weren't for Catch 22, because before Catch 22 I was walking, the day I left home I didn't even know what I was doing. I just walked out thinking I'll cope, but I don't think anyone can cope on their own. No matter how strong they think they are, you do need support to fall back on. The council and everyone do look at young people in a very bad way. they think, oh, it's just another idiot who's the mum's kicked him out because of partying every weekend. It's not the case of that. Like, me and a lot of other people have been through domestic abuse.
The issue was I couldn't keep my heating on, couldn't keep my lights. I had no curtains, no nets, no nothing. And I was dire, and my work programme actually referred us here. And at the time I didn't know what Catch-22 was. So I was quite surprised because I just thought, oh, there'll be another judgmental company just saying, well, you need to do this, that and the other. And they haven't. It's been absolutely brilliant.
Catch-22 are also fighting to eliminate misconceptions.
It's really difficult. I don't think people appreciate how difficult it is. I mean, £57 a week, young person on job seekers allowance, £6.50 TV licence, £10 a week water, £10 a week gas, £10 a week electricity, council tax top up. It just leaves maybe £8 a week for food. If you want a bus to a job interview, that's your food money gone for the week.
And it's hoped that with the charity going from strength to strength, more young people will be able to get their lives back on track. Erica Barker, Estuary TV.
Dan's back with the sports news.
Hull City head to Sheffield Wednesday tomorrow lunchtime. A win for the Tigers will see them stretch their unbeaten run to 6 games. After celebrating a year in charge this week, Mark Robbins' Scunthorpe United side host Shrewsbury Town. Grimsby Town face a 650-mile round trip to Torquay in the National League, and North Ferriby United hosts FC United of Manchester at Church Road. Back to Hull City now, and manager Steve Bruce says he's still unsure whether Abel Hernandez will feature in tomorrow's game. The attacker is one of several players that have been away on international duty over the past fortnight.
We had 6 or 7 all playing. Thankfully, all of them are back, apart from obviously one, which is Hernandez, who's scored for Uruguay and played twice for Uruguay. But he's still not back yet, and this is Friday morning. He got back into Humberside last night at 6 o'clock.
Meanwhile, Bruce is aware of the threat Wednesday striker Ante Nuhiu poses to his side tomorrow. 6'7", he knows his side need to defend to their best.
Down the hill at Sheffield Wednesday, the corner's coming in, you know what to expect, so we're going to have to defend well. We're going to have to, you know, make sure that we understand what's coming, and make no mistake, the players will be aware of obviously the threat he causes.
And finally, here's Grimsby Town boss Paul Hurst on their current injury situation.
Sean Pearson's just a little bit sore on his knee, but I think we're certainly hopeful that will be okay. After that, like I said, I think more just a general sort of stiffness from the lads that perhaps have just come back into the team, or you know, one or two others obviously that have been in there a little while.
And that's all for the sport.
Estuary TV weather, sponsored by Grimsby Institute for a brighter future.
Hello and welcome to Estuary TV's weather. A mainly dry but largely cloudy day with just a few light or sunny spells, 13 degrees Celsius. Settled conditions look set to continue with plenty of dry weather on Sunday.
Estuary TV weather, sponsored by Grimsby Institute for a brighter future.